First Watch with Sheriff Mark Daniels on KWCD Bisbee Sierra Vista. Hosted by Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
And here we are on a Friday. I'm Grady Butler with Carol Kappas and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
So we've got something, actually, talk again, Sheriff?
Hello, everyone.
Nope, I don't hear you. Maybe check the mic switch on the top there.
Hello, everyone.
There you go.
It's
I was hoping that was all it was.
It's that little thing that goes on and off. It's always on. I mean,
right, yeah, it's supposed to stay on.
Some very intelligent person turned it off. Good.
They did.
Good.
Well, yeah, because if it wasn't that, then it was something bigger and we'd have a problem. So I'm glad it was just that.
Well, the people that don't want to hear me are going, dang it, he's back.
Well, let's start with something that's happening this coming week. It's the eclipse is coming, and that's going to be really cool.
It is. And I saw a thing yesterday where people are frauding the sunglasses or the glasses.
Oh, no.
They look like sunglasses, but the glasses. And they did a big thing on it. But it's just sad. Every time there's something positive or unique or something that draws interest by the public, somebody's trying to scam it. It just, yeah. So be careful when you buy these sunglasses out there. But it is cool. But are we going to get the full view or
not full? But we get a really good percent. It's a really high percent. It's over half, yeah. But
somebody asked me
not
yesterday.
A full.
Yeah, somebody asked me yesterday. I didn't see us on the mainstream of seeing a good view of it. So, but at least something.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, let's start this morning by giving honor to a Tucson police officer, Mr. Beckner.
Yes, he was a Tucson police officer, and on behalf of our law enforcement family here in Cochise County, our state, local, and federal law enforcement, he's in our prayers. I mean, going to a call and gets hit in an intersection and perishes. So to him and his family and the Tucson law enforcement family up there, God bless you all, man. It's a rough job, and yeah, he paid the ultimate sacrifice.
And his name was Buckner. That was his name. Buckner.
I was going to say Buckner.
Yeah,
I thought so too, but I'm thinking, did I miss that? But
no,
yeah,
it's Buckner.
I did not know him. That's a very large agency. I did not know him, and but irrelevant to that, bottom line, his family I know is mourning today.
And we have another loss. Our SAT commander, John Black, his wife Joan passed away, and that's unfortunate. So we just want to make sure that he knows that, and his family, how much we appreciate everything he does, and we are here in case he ever needs anything.
Yeah, John Black, and very well known here in Cochise County, Sierra Vista, retired colonel, then worked for the government for many years afterwards, and is our SAT, Sheriff Sistine Commander. Has been there for a long, long time, and just a good friend of all of us here and in this community, and the sheriff's office and law enforcement, and his wife Joan. Had some complications, and she passed last Saturday. And I talked to John Saturday, and yeah, it's a tough one. It is. I had lunch with John this week and talked to him, and that's his partner. So, I mean, obviously, just a tough time for him. So, John, you're in our prayers, and God bless you, my friend.
And tomorrow, there's another memorial ceremony for Carlos Trujillo, who was an officer with the Sheriff's Office, a deputy with the Sheriff's Office, and a motor officer with Douglas Police Department for many years. And
Carlos was that welcoming guy. I mean, he worked the DUI task force back in the 90s with me, all the way up to current time, till he retired. And then, yeah, he had some complications too, and he perished here recently, and so his services are tomorrow. And again, Carlos, I mean, you're up there. I'm sure he's on a motor up there in heaven up there to show him how to do it, because he also did a lot of reconstruction for accidents. Him and I did a lot of recon work together, and again, we lost a good one there, man. We really did.
One of the things that a lot of people that come down to visit the border from other states always say is they never knew that this was the reality at Cochise County's border. So we had some visitors come and they said that again. But what's neat is what they take away and take back to where they go. So let's talk about why we do Borders to Backyard. We had Pennsylvania here.
Yeah, we had Pennsylvania. Some police chiefs and sheriff, and they were out of the Philadelphia area. And it's part of the Borders to the Backyards program, a program we started almost, 11 years ago, Carol? We kicked that program off, and it's to help educate on the reality of it, not the opinions, not the sensation, or not the politics of it, but the reality of what's going on. And I want to compliment my team, the men and women, you guys, Grady, you and Carol, and all those out there that have made these innovative programs work. I mean, we went out and we did things that most agencies aren't. And I'm not saying that and look at us, but we did. We took it to another level, and that's why they come here, because we've done a lot of things, whether it be human trafficking, whether it be financial crimes, whether it be the interdiction team, whatever it may be, we're doing it, trying to do our part to protect our county, our citizen, our state, and beyond. And so they come down here, they ride with our folks, they see it, they go through the presentations, they hear from people. So when they go back, they have a true reality and what the border looks like. So many people don't even know what the border looks like. And I really wish every congressional person that sits in Washington, D.C., all parties, would get their butts down here and see this reality too, because a lot of them don't have a clue about the border. And we just had a congresswoman, out of Utah, brand new. She's been, 4 months, I think it was, came down here. One of her first trips was to see this border, and I give her credit for doing that.
And there's more people coming next week. So we're going to continue with the program. It's going to be ongoing for the rest of the year, at least. It's pretty hot and heavy.
It is become a very popular public safety program in the country. And by the way, for the people listening, we don't pay for their flights to come here. We don't put them up. That is all part of on them. But they come down. Some spend 1 day. Some spend 2 days. We had Utah here too, Wisconsin. I mean, we just been getting flooded with them. And you're right. It's an election year. We're going to get some more people. But I can say the law enforcement side of it, the sheriffs and the police chiefs are coming for how we can partner better. I'm so impressed that we've stretched out our partnerships across this country and sharing each other so we can do a better job getting the criminal.
And you're going to be busy this weekend too. So we have a job fair coming up, and we also have Cars for Kids.
Cars for Kids, yes. But the job fair, I went by yesterday. They had one at the college in the main campus yesterday. Then today, Grady, I think you guys are going to be at that today.
Yeah, it's at El Camino Real at the old hospital.
And I went by there last year when they did, and it was well attended.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good job fair. And we're going to be focusing on detention today because we're looking for detention officers. So if you're in the market, come on by and stop by the table, say hi to us, and we'll show you everything that it has to do. You have to be 18 years old and have a high school diploma or GED. It starts at $45,000 a year, which is great. That's going to go up hopefully this year, but it starts at 45, and you could start at 18 years old in our detention.
And the benefits that come along. We forget about the benefits, the perks of the job. And one big thing about any job is the benefit package, a retirement package, the medical, the health, and we have a educational reimbursement program. I mean, just on and on. That just makes that more attractive, because this job, people ain't lining up to work in law enforcement anymore, and it's just a crying shame to me. And now we're doing all right on the sworn side. It's the detention side, the civilian side that challenges us trying to get quality people. So come on out, talk to us today, and we can see work out an agreement.
All right, and we mentioned Cars for Kids. Let's go there.
Cars for Kids, our 12th annual Cars for Kids is at Hobby Lobby, Cal Ranch. Thanks to both those businesses for that partnership we have with them. And this is a Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 28. We put this on for the Boys and Girls Club, the kiddos over there for their programs. But it's this Saturday. You can register the day of the show. We're allocated 300 cars. We're about half of that already pre-registered. So if you want to come out there, come out early. And we start registering cars at 7 in the morning. And it should be a fun event. We have auction items. We have 20-some auction items. These are really nice auction items. We have a $1,000 gift card giveaway. You name it. We got something going on there. And come out and see. It kind of kicks off the spring, too. I like that part of it. But no mission to come walk around there. And but come out and also say hi to your public safety. You have firefighters out there. You have your law enforcement partners out there that setting up different displays. But this is a public safety event for kids in this community, Cars and Cops.
And Jay from the Boys and Girls Clubs can be on later. We'll talk more about it, and we'll talk about why they need money and what they're going to use it for.
Good.
So that'll be really good as well.
No, it's a great event. So I want to give a shout out to our our diamond sponsors, Lawley Automotive, and then we have Berg's Heating and Cooling, and then right below them we have Hatfield's Funeral Home, and also Prestige Remodeling. So thank you to those 4 businesses for stepping up this year, and all our sponsors. We have so many. You come out tomorrow, and I'm a big believer. A lot of these communities or business gives so much back to our community events, and I like to cater to those businesses. I do. So we'll have them on display tomorrow when you come on out there. So there's like about 40, 50 businesses that make this happen for us.
And Berg's Heating and Cooling did a ride-along with you, and how did that whole thing go? Yeah,
Tyler and Beth, the new owners, came out and rode with me. They've been out with me twice. I took them to Phoenix to a fentanyl roundtable with the Attorney General and many others, and then they spent a few hours with me last week, and we had a good time. We really did. But most people don't see law enforcement through the windshield. from inside the vehicle. It's always from when they drive by. But so I like when we do that. This was a charity event. They wanted me during the charity event, and then got the opportunity. They won it, and then came out and spent some time. And I gained 2 new friends. I tell you, they're great people. They're a very successful business. Bergs have been around a long time, and they're taking it to the next level. So Tyler and Beth, thank you so much. I know they're out of county, or they'd be on the phone on this show with me today.
And there's on our Facebook, you can find out about a sex offender scam. Carol, tell us what that does.
So, we have a lot of telephone scams where people call randomly or maybe not so much, telling the potential victim that they have a warrant or they've missed a jury duty or whatnot. So I tell you, these criminals are pretty innovative in as much as who they know how to target and what the keywords would be. So they're calling sex offenders who are registered in Cochise County, and they're telling them that they've failed to negotiate one of the hurdles that they have to go through to make sure that they're successfully registered. And so that they have to pay, and either it's, pay through Bitcoin, pay through a gift card, and we've gotten multiple calls. And so some of the people that we've gotten responses from are saying, how do they know who the sex offenders are? But we make sure that we're transparent with that. Offender Watch, you can register. You can make sure that if anyone moves into your area who's a registered offender, that you can get a notification. So these people are being targeted for that. So at this point, that's the latest scam that we have, but it's going to morph into something else eventually, and probably sooner rather than later.
It's just sad. And we start off with the Eclipse, where people are trying to scam people for glasses because of the safety part of looking straight into it. But it just amazes me that everybody's got a scam angle. And I say everybody. I'm talking about this criminal, evil, looking to profit from the wills of others. Boy, it just amazes me. So, yeah, please don't fall for that, folks.
Well, the governor, you had a meeting with the governor. How did that go?
It went well. I met with the governor on Wednesday, went up to Phoenix, and a handful of sheriffs, myself and all her department directors were there. But the main issue was, and I've been pushing for this, and I think we're on the right track, is that we at the state level, and I'm just going to say this, when it comes to our border security, our federal government has abandoned us. It is completely just neglectful in my mind. But either way, so we can sit back and talk about it, or we get together at the state level and having members of board of supervisors, members of mayors and sheriffs, DPS, the governor, the attorney general's office, get together once a month and let's start strategically putting plans together, messaging together, so we can start protecting our own state, but do it in a way that's collective instead of trying to piecemeal it. Right now we're piecemealing, and I shared that with the governor the other day. Governor, you can put a statement out, but how's that? We shouldn't have to read that in the paper. We should be able to talk about it before it comes out, so we're all impacted. We all have a mission that we're working for, and that is the people of this state. And then I also said to her, talked to her about the debt. The federal government's causing a lot of debt for locals in this country, and to include Arizona and our communities. Look at our street releases, for example. Look at the crime we're dealing with. So at what point, and I told the Attorney General this too, at what point do we go after the federal government for this debt? They're acting like there's not a problem here. Well, the reality is there is a problem here, and we're paying for it from our tax dollars. Our citizens are paying for it, when the reality is we didn't create it. Now, I'm not getting to the blame game when it comes to all this, but I'm saying we have to work together. So I've asked the governor, don't take away our funds. The state's what's paying a lot of my debt here in Cochise County when it comes to this border. If we continue to do that, eventually something else is going to take Robin from Peter to pay Paul. It's not going to work. So we have to do a better job there. And the governor committed. She also committed to priority of public safety. I was glad to hear that from her. So we will see. We're going to continue these conversations over the next couple of weeks. We'll be back up there again because this is something we can't wait on. So we're going to push this forward. And Chris Mays, the Attorney General, agrees also. And for those listening, listen, I'm not playing politics. We're not here to talk about politics. We're here to talk about public safety. And when you look at a $9.4 million incarceration cost just for border in 2 years, you can see how important these partnerships are right now. We don't have to agree on everything, but at the end of the day is if the state's not helping us pay it, we are, or we don't pay it, and then we open up these gates and our problems just begin. So we have to work together.
All right, before you go, you've got a safety message about some property in Hereford.
Yeah, the Bible College. Hot topic. You see it in the news. You've heard about it. That's not open for business. And I just want to make it very clear. And this is people are going down there. They're going on the property. The Cochise County owns that property. And I want to be very clear on that. It's not open for business. There's trespass signs out there. They're going to put more. I spoke to our county administrator yesterday. The bottom line, if you go on there, there's a probability and chance, probably better than not, you will be trespassed. But if you've been on there before, I can almost promise you you're going to go to jail. So stay off the property. That's my message to you today on that. The buildings, a lot of the buildings are older. There's some construction issues with some of the buildings. I think some are being torn down, if I'm not mistaken. So if you get hurt on there, and we know you're on there, we become vicarious to that. So that's why we're saying don't go on there. So it's my safety message is if you're on there, there's a chance you could be arrested on there. And if you've been there before, there's high probability you will be arrested.
All right. Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Grady, Carol, everybody have a great week.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Eric from Arizona at Work.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and welcome Eric from Arizona at Work. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about what you're working on today.
So today's going to be a fun-filled event. We have our Day 2 of our Spring Hiring and Career Fair. It's going to be at the Cochise College Downtown Center off 2600 East Wilcox Drive here in Sierra Vista. We have about at least 60 employers setting up for hiring and education, I guess you could call it, because part of it is going to be not only to help them hire and to find people, but also talk to the students, talk to some of the young folks about the different industries here in Cochise County. What does it look like? What do you need to do in order to achieve that? As I talk to the high school students and stuff, there's a big disconnect. A lot of them still think, when you ask them, you plan on going to college, they still think, oh, I don't want to do 4 more years. And it's like, but there's so many programs out there. You may have to do a semester, 2 semesters, something small, but all they think of is 4 more years of school? No way. I can barely get through the 4 I got right now. So, and that's why we sort of teamed up with the college to do a career fair as well as a hiring fair at the same time. That way we can serve 2 purposes.
So that's going to be today. What time is the event going to be?
So the event's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay. So 10 to 2, head over there and see what the county has to offer, and you might find your next job or your next educational advancement. That'll be great.
Yeah. Like I said, we have about 60 employers signed up. It's going to be a phenomenal event.
Well, let's kind of back up one step and say, what does Arizona at Work do besides job fairs?
So Arizona at Work, we like to call ourselves, we're innovative workforce solutions. So we offer services and resources to help job seekers find jobs and for businesses to find those job seekers. So we have not only resources, connections throughout the community, through the state, through the county, where we can help people that are in need. But we can help with resume writing, job search. We can do job referrals. And then myself, I work with all the businesses. I post jobs, put on hiring events, whether it's big, individual. Our ultimate goal is to help people overcome barriers to employment. And my ultimate goal is to help businesses. A lot of times it's very tough for especially small businesses starting out, with all the chaos about the wages. And then, of course, there's a trend going on where people go into work. They're there for a day or 2, and then they never come back. So now that small business has to invest more money into trying to find someone else. So we have a couple of programs out there, like our on-the-job training program, incumbent worker program, to help try to save them a little bit of money in that while growing.
So how do they get a hold of you at Arizona at Work?
So they can call 520-458-9309 and just ask for Eric. And then I can connect you with the right part of our team. We have we're a joint task force. At least that's what I call us. We have workforce specialists. We have veterans workforce specialists. We have vocational rehabilitation for those with disabilities. And then we have the Title I side of the houses, which is where that little magical pot of money is to help pay for training, education, and certifications.
And do you have websites or Facebook pages?
We have we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, or is it called X?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we're there. There is a state Facebook or statewide website, but you have to go in there and ArizonaAtWork.com, location, Southeastern Arizona. Go through all that. So I usually just tell people come look for us at Arizona at Work, ATWORK Southeastern Arizona, and you can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X.
All right. Before you go, invite everybody to the job fair today one more time.
All right. So everybody come on out. There's a lot of folks on social media always talking about how they've been looking for jobs and can't find anything. Today is a great time to come out, meet these employers in person, have a name, have a person. You don't have to deal with a computer today. So come on out and join us from 10 to 2 at the Cochise College Downtown Center, 2600 East Wilcox Drive here in Sierra Vista. We'll see you there.
Well, Eric, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you so much, Grady.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have excuse me, I don't know what I did. We have Commander Robert Watkins and Teresa Galindo from Thunder Mountain Church.
We won't tell him you demoted him.
I know, please don't.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas. And our next guest is Commander Watkins with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office. Good morning.
Good morning, Grady. Thank you for having me.
So we're going to be talking about an event that's coming up. But before we get to that, can I ask you about what we have going on with the Legacy Foundation?
Yes. 3 years ago in 2021, we were blessed to receive a $1.3 million grant from the Legacy Foundation to create a mental health support team. And we ended up hiring 2 licensed behavioral health professionals, 1 doctor, and then 2 behavioral health technicians. And we had partnered with Cochise College to really create a mental health support team that provides mental health support for internal, meaning our law enforcement firefighter personnel, and they do things like critical incident stress management for us, and then external, meaning going out and interfacing and providing services to members of the community suffering from mental health issues. And it has been very, very successful, and we're so grateful to have that. In addition to that, we were able to use those funds to bring in Dr. Crandall from Montana and Sheriff Dan Springer from Montana. And what they did is they pioneered a wonderful platform called Crisis Intervention Training, and it's basically to teach how deputies and police officers how to interface with someone suffering from a mental health crisis. When someone is in crisis, how can we refine our practices to better engage with them to have a more positive outcome, right? And this training was revolutionary, and it is so impactful, and we're going to really bring that to all law enforcement that want to participate in the community. So we now have 1 train the trainer with the Sierra Vista Police Department, and then 3 of our own train the trainers. And we're going to roll that training out as we move forward throughout 2024 and 2025. But I just want to say a quick shout out to the Legacy Foundation of Southeastern Arizona. They've been such a great partner, and I really appreciate them.
Yeah, they do a lot of great work in our community.
Yes.
All right, well, we've got an event coming up, and we've got Tessa Galindo, did I say it right? Excellent. From Thunder Mountain Community Church. Tell us about this Town Talk event that's coming up.
Yeah, we're doing a Town Talk event. Thunder Mountain Church wanted to find a way to partner with the Sheriff's Department. So we reached out to Commander Bob and asked him what he thought could possibly be good. And this was all his idea. It's not a religious event. It's happening Monday, April 8th at 6 p.m. at our church, which is 4300 Golden Acres Drive. You can find it on our website, thundermountain.org. And I would love for Commander Bob just to talk about what the idea behind it is.
Thank you, Tessa. First, I'd like to acknowledge that Thunder Mountain Community Church is always reaching out and asking how they can serve the sheriff's office and how they can serve the community. So thank you, Tessa, and thank you to the leadership at Thunder Mountain Community Church. You guys have been an excellent partner. So for context, a couple months back, Tessa and Randy Youngblood reached out to me and asked me, hey, what can we do to partner to bring awareness to an issue facing our community? And last year, I attended a town hall event in Tucson where they showed the movie Childhood 2.0. And then we served on a question and answer panel after the video, and community members got to ask us questions about issues facing their children. And there was not a dry eye in the place after watching this documentary. And basically what the documentary is it highlights how social media is changing how our children experience childhood. And there's been a 4,000% increase in diagnosed mental health issues in children since 2010, and that has been proven to have a direct correlation to social media. And when I grew up in the 80s, my parents were afraid of the white windowless van, right? And that threat may still exist, but pales in comparison to what our children have access to on our phones. When we give our child a phone, we're not giving our child access to the world. We're giving the world access to our child. And social media really enhances that. So whether it be child sex trafficking, whether it be human smuggling, to add context, I go around the country and I provide awareness to people about how social media is used by the cartel to exploit humans. You can hop on any social media device, and within one or two searches, you can either buy fentanyl directly off of social media, and it's all social media platforms, for $1 a pill. A child can order fentanyl and have it delivered to their home for $1 a pill. Also, a child can hop on any social media device and engage with a member of the cartel who promises them $2,500 to transport one migrant from Cochise County to Phoenix. I knew this, and I still gave my son a phone, right? And he doesn't have any social media, but an episode happened in my own home because I invited that into my home. So when Tessa reached out to me and was like, hey, what can we do to help our community members? I really thought, like, hey, if we could educate parents and teens, I would love to see some teenagers in there to view this video, because a teenager doesn't want to hear from a 45-year-old man about what it's like to be a child today. In this documentary, they interviewed children, teenagers, and every one of those teenagers said that they would wish their parents had not given them access to social media, whether it be cyberbullying, whether it be, again, sex trafficking, whether it be human smuggling, drug sales, sextortion. At this town hall event that I was at in Tucson, a grandmother stood up and asked me questions about how she could prevent her grandson from falling susceptible to another event. And I was like, what are you talking about? She said, my grandson sent a picture of himself shirtless to who he thought was his girlfriend. A lot of events happened here on the radio that I'm not going to go into, but essentially that girlfriend of his ended up being a Nigerian male that edited a photograph of him to depict him in a grotesque sexual act. And the grandson was in the process of hanging himself when Grandma walked in, because of what that person did to manipulate that photo and expose it to all of his friends on social media. So when Tessa reached out to me, I was like, oh my Lord, we have a real problem here in not just our community, but in our country with social media. And whatever we can do to bring parents, and parents are the answer, if we educate the parents and start a dialogue between them, their children, and community members, I think that's the way we solve this issue. And I wanted to bring in public health so that they can have a public health perspective of markers for, someone being susceptible to depression, or what are behavioral changes in a child when they start expressing anxiety and depression. So this is kind of a litmus test to see, is there an appetite for this in our community? Is this a successful event? What can we better do to do this? And again, thank you to Thunder Mountain for partnering with us, and I really look forward to it.
And it seems like this would be a good opportunity for parents to get ahead of this situation. But also, if somebody's going through this right now, this might be a good place to get some answers.
Absolutely. And thank you for bringing that up, Grady. That mental health support team, specifically our care team, their purpose through the Legacy Foundation is to go out and interface with community members who have these types of questions. We were blessed to hire a subject matter expert in the area of mental health. She's one of the best psychologists in the country, and we were able to hire her. And so if you have questions about what these things look like, you can immediately call CCOM and ask to call a member, to speak to a member of our care team. That's CARE team. And you can have answers, and you can get ahead of these issues facing our youth, and we're happy to help.
All right, well, Tessa, invite us to this event one more time. Tell us the dates, the times, locations, everything we need to know to get there.
All right, it's going to be Monday, April 8th at 6 p.m. We'll be done by 8 p.m. It's at 4300 East Golden Acres Drive here in Sierra Vista at Thunder Mountain Church. And we invite parents, teens, parents without teens, like Grady said, to get ahead of it. If you have young kids, it really doesn't matter your age. We just want to help parents to know what to look for, and teens and kids to know what to look for online too, to not be exploited or have anything come up. So we would love anybody and everybody to come join us for this talk.
Thank you, Tessa. I would like to close with, even though it's being held at a church, and I support the vision and the mission of Thunder Mountain Community Church, the Sheriff's Office and the Health Department are partnering with a church so that we can interface with members of our community. This is not a religious event. You're not going to, if you do come, please do, but if you do come, you're not going to be preached to. It's nothing about that. It's just a way for for our local government to interface with members of our community. Also, if you would like a similar engagement with your church or your community event, please reach out to me, and I'll be happy to facilitate that, no matter which church you belong to, because we at the Sheriff's Office want to interface and serve our community however we can.
Well, Commander Watkins, we thank you for coming and talking to us today, and Tessa, thank you for putting on this event for our community. And invite everybody out one more time as we close.
All right, Monday, April 8th at 6 p.m. at Thunder Mountain Church, 4300 Golden Acres Drive. You can find more information on thundermountain.org.
That's good.
That's
all right.
it.
Thundermountain.org. Make sure you check it out and check it out. Go to this event. It'll be very helpful for you. First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. Keep up to date. Follow the Cochise County Sheriff's Office on Facebook and tune in next Friday, 7 a.m. for First Watch.